Oh my god. Whoa, oh god. I'm sorry, I messed that up. Oh shit, it was only supposed to play one time. It was on repeat. Oh my god.
Just
Shit.
keep it going the whole show.
Yeah, it's our, yeah.
You're just sitting here like this the whole time.
I totally won't go fucking crazy by the time we're done with this show. Hello, welcome to Utterly Geek Podcast. We are down one person today. A1, Darren Bell. He is gone, but not for long. Well, I guess for long. 3 weeks is 3 weeks is actually a long time.
About time.
Yes, he is. He's away. He is taking care of life stuff. So me, Chris Walczyk, and Stephen Petrella, the two of us, we are going to be taking care of this week's podcast with the news. Yes, and the show in general, actually. So
yeah, we're firing Darren. Actually, he's gone.
We took his whole foundation that he's built for these years, and we are just kicking him out of it.
Yes, it was unanimous. Even Darren voted.
Yeah,
goodbye.
He was like, "God damn it, I'm fucking done with you pieces of shit. I'm out. Good luck. I hope it burns to the ground." Oh, shit. But anyway, yes, we're here to talk about the gaming news of the week. First up is the Dark Souls Prepared to Die Edition for PC. The owners of that will be able to upgrade to the Dark Souls Remastered at a discounted price. I believe the price was somewhere between $20 or $30, if I recall.
Is that the discounted price or for the game itself?
That's for the discounted price.
Okay.
Of the game. I see. If it's remastered to, I know we talked about it. Like, I think we talked about Dark Souls Remastered last week, but I think it was involving the Switch.
No. Yeah, it was just about the Switch being delayed to sometime in the summer.
If was the remastered for PC going to be upgraded to 60 frames? I think
so. Yeah.
Any of them? Okay.
I think everything but the Switch was 60 frames.
Okay.
I think the Switch was the only one that just got the 7, or they were trying to do 1080 at 30 frames, but it was definitely going to be 720.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what's funny is that in their tweet, their last line was like, "Please feel free to take advantage of this discount advantage of this campaign from software." And I was just like, "What the fuck kind of wording is that?" Like, please feel free to buy our game again. Like
maybe Google Translate.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's what it sounds like. It's like, hey, if you haven't bought it yet, guess what? If you buy it right now, you'll get the HD remaster at a discounted price.
So let's take a quick look at how much is it on Steam right now. I think Dark Souls Prepared to Die Edition, $20. So you'd pay, and then with the $30 upgrade, it'd be $50. But what's the Dark Souls Remastered? It's not listed on here. Okay. Because if it's $60, then like get the game.
Yeah, then it's worth it. Yeah.
Get the game, then get the upgrade, and you save $10.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it should be any more than $40, but who am I to judge? I mean, I felt the same way about Skyrim when they re-released that for the Switch. I was like, it's $60 for that is a little pricey. Although I heard it's a good port. Mm-hmm. I just think that game's been out long enough for it to not be $60. And same with Dark Souls. Like, it's been out long enough. So many people bought it. But, I mean, it's cool. I like that they're doing that. But it just depends on how much the game costs at release. Like, for people. Like, if it's $60, I'll be kind of like, oh, come on.
Right.
But if they do something cool and, like, Steam discount it right before the HD remaster releases or something, then I'll be like, good on you guys, you know. But We'll see what they do.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first From Software remaster that we've seen, so they could handle it. We'll see how they handle it.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking along the lines of Platinum Games, and they've been doing remasters like
Hmm.
amazingly. Like, because like either you get it at a super discounted price, or they just be like, whatever, fucking here you go, it's available. Like they
Yeah.
hand off. I mean, I know there's a number of companies that have done that. They did that with BioShock. They did that with Skyrim, where you got the free upgrade to the remasters. But yeah, this is their first attempt at it, so we'll see how they handle with the prices and I guess the post-launch support for that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're starting to tread some territory where we're getting into realms of where we have games that are like 8 years old that a lot of people haven't played yet
Mm-hmm.
that don't really need a remaster but could like just be re-released basically to introduce to a bunch of new people that
Yeah.
are still very good games because we're breaching on that those graphics are still good enough to be playable, the gameplay is still good enough to be playable. It's not like N64 and all that shit where it's like you'd have to revamp the entirety of the game. So I
Yeah.
think we're going to start seeing shitloads of remasters like very soon, just starting to hit because we're getting all these games that are good, but people now there's a new generation of gamers coming out who haven't
Mm-hmm.
played these games, and we need to advertise them to them. So
Yeah.
it's cool. I'm glad we're seeing this. I don't care that much about it, but it's cool. I kind of
I
want to play Dark Souls again, though. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm kind of I mean if it's like the $20 range, I'd probably hop
Hmm.
on it. 30
Yeah.
is kind of but I mean it would ultimately just be see like how much they change with the remaster, because I played through the game with mods that basically didn't do the 60 frames push, because that basically caused my game to just absolutely crash. But I know it has the bugs where the weapon dexterity basically doubles in in speed, so like basically your shit gets worn like faster.
Hmm.
But I did have the mod where it was like upgraded textures, 1080 support, because it didn't even have 1080 support on PC. It was like 720. It looked awful, like real
Yeah.
rough. Because I played the first hour of that game just at its core, and then once I was like, there's got to be mods for this that brings it up to the level of like what it fucking should be. And sure enough, there's like one giant mod that you can download that's like the number one top mod that's just like brings up the textures, brings up the resolution, gets rid of all the shitty like depth of field that game just like loves. It like
Hmm.
reduces that, like it really made it look that much of a better game. And that's what I think the remaster is probably gonna try to set out for.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, I mean, there's still such a huge following with that game that, like, just to bring it back out there and get people back into it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
it's a good move.
yeah. So hey, we love PUBG, right? I mean,
Oh,
we
yeah.
play a decent amount.
Yep.
And we know that there are hackers that are running rampant
Yes.
in
Big
the
time.
in the gaming industry. Well, turns out that 15 PUBG hacker devs were arrested and fined $5.1 million.
Holy shit.
And this is over in China. I
Yeah.
don't know what the conversion is, but basically someone converted it to dollars, and that's 5.1 million is what they owe.
Holy.
Just to give you an
Jeez.
idea of how serious China takes hacking over there
Wow.
and how much they penalize
Oh
them.
my God.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
crazy.
I mean, it's good that they're finding the devs that make these things, that make these
Yeah.
hacks, because that means that hopefully we'll see less of it. I mean, because I mean we've played a lot of it, and it's still kind of running rampant. It's still happening. I. It's just honestly, if they just remove their whole, I mean, it's already way too late to do this, but if they remove their whole BP system with their cosmetic shit, with actually being in the marketplace, if they got rid of
Hmm.
it, that would totally solve the issue. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's they're already making so much content for that we're not going to see a change anytime soon.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I mean, that system's out there. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see that change. It's just they're just gonna have to work their asses off trying to stop hacking in general. Like
Hmm.
I think that's all we're gonna see. And like they're trying, but it's still, I think it's still something that they're like, hey, we're doing it, but it's not as like big of a priority for us right now. Like, and
Yeah.
I understand that because they're still, that game is still super fucking buggy and they need to fix all of that shit. And
Yeah.
they're doing, I think right now they're actually surprisingly doing a solid job with that lately. They've been trying all this new stuff and bringing out new content and all of that, you know, with this new, now you have the new test servers up with new weapon stuff and all of that kind of crap going on, and new additions to, or changes to Miramar, and like
Hmm.
that people have been asking for, which is awesome. So they're listening, they're actually listening to people, which didn't seem like they were before.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see them work on the hacks, but after I do a little bit now, but make that game like amazing, and while like make it keep like iron out all the kinks, and you know, then fucking clamp down on them hackers, get them out of the fucking game.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, a lot of I think that a lot of the complaints right now is optimization. That's like the
Mhm.
number one thing that people want. Because there's still a lot of times, I mean, hell, I was playing last night and almost every single engagement in the first uh every time when I land in every match, the first engagement that I always come at, like whenever I start firing my gun, I get a little hiccup. So it's
Yeah,
like that's that a split second where I could have adjusted my aim and would have been able to get my target. But yeah, it's good that this is kind of happening like in the background on top
hmm
of it's still the PUBG Corp can still kind of develop their game. They can work on things. They can hopefully fix things. They can optimize things, hopefully, and make additions to the game while they have this kind of thing going on in the background that
yeah,
people are starting to crack down and being like, all right, we need to fucking stop this shit because it's really running rampant and it's clearly coming from China.
yeah,
Uh, so at least they're finding the sources there to get it done.
yeah, yeah. Get those people out. I mean, because yeah, once you, I mean, there's going to be more people that surface and build hacks. That's just how the game goes. But if you get harsh fines and penalties like that, like you're going to limit the amount of people that do it, you know? So
Yeah,
it's going to be harder for people. Then you're really going to have to search hard as fuck to find a hack.
yeah,
So,
totally. So in kind of neat news, the God of War subreddit discovered recently because there was in the collector's edition there was a cloth map and a number of items that came
mhm.
along in the collector's edition. I got one. It's downstairs. It's eventually gonna be on this shelf right behind me, if I ever find fucking room for it. But it came with a cloth map that had the number of runes, the language that was in the game, that was spread out all throughout the map. And some fucking madman, took the time to go into it and basically translate it letter for letter. And they basically read it aloud and they found out that it included some secret message, which then they debunked it shortly after and found out that it led to a secret item in the game that led to a piece of hardware, well, not hardware, an item that basically went on your axe. And I think for something like that is just something that is how Santa Monica Studios just pushes just something a little bit further and just how much
Yeah,
effort that went into that fucking game. And the fact that someone took the goddamn time
yeah,
to find out that shit and totally just translate it and then figure it out.
yeah, yeah. That's awesome. Like I think that that's really fucking cool, and I think that that collector's edition that they brought out is one of the best I've seen in a while. Like that
Yes.
fucking statue is
Yep.
so nice,
Yep.
and all the little trinkets that come with it, or like if you're a collector, that is a really fucking cool thing. And like I love, cloth maps are becoming really like a big thing again, which is awesome. Like
Mm-hmm.
it seems like a lot of companies are riding that train, which they're nice, and that is just, that's just fucking cool, man. Like that they went through all of that trouble to do that, and then give someone the satisfaction, some random dude, the satisfaction of deciphering that shit.
Yep.
Being like, "Hey guys, I figured this shit out.
Yeah.
Check it out," and it leads to something, and that's just really cool. Like that's just it's a neat little Easter egg and
a literal Easter egg too, because like no one would have been able to find it
if they didn't set that up. Yeah,
I know the recent popular trend has been Ready Player One, but that was exactly what came to my mind. I was like, holy shit, this is an actual like Ready Player One situation that someone fucking really read into it and discovered something and then was able to fucking break it down and then left it for the world to find it.
Yeah, and that game is really fucking good.
Yeah,
I mean, we're not going to talk about it now, but I'll just say it's really fucking good.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish on this note that it is what AAA devs should fucking strive for putting love and effort into a game. Anyway, we'll get into that when we do our social hours podcast.
Parentheses.
Very harsh quotations.
Yeah, I feel like this next one's gonna be long.
Yeah. Darren's basically gonna have to plug his ears for like half, like for like 3/4 of the goddamn podcast,
or just not be there.
So I kind of slipped on having this being a topical discussion while we were still talking about remasters. But as it turns out, the character designer of Spyro the Dragon was disappointed because he was not recognized in the upcoming Reignited trilogy that is being released. It's kind of a double-edged sword with this, mostly because I feel like that, in the credits, it should be credited to who were the people that like created this franchise, but at the same time, from what I recall, the Insane trilogy didn't have Naughty Dog like all over. Like it wasn't like Naughty Dog presents a game Insane trilogy. It was like, whoever was the dev team that basically ported it over, and then it was by them, or at least from what I have read. I never played it myself, so I mean, I don't know, it's kind of a weird situation where it's just like, do you credit them because they were the original creators, or is it because they're no longer working on the project that they shouldn't be in there?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends. Like, it just depends on how you do it. Like, I would just say, like, based on a character created by so-and-so. Like, I think they deserve a little bit of something because they did create it and design it and do that, And it's just something, but not in the making of the game,
Right.
Like the stuff that they're that in this new release, like, no. But have him credited in there as, like, maybe even a thank you or something or whatever, like
a special thanks, or maybe like original team or something.
Yeah, there should be like a little nod to him because they did, but like, I mean, it is what it is, It's just, you gotta, like, you might be disappointed, but life goes on, dude. Design more characters.
Yeah, that's true.
But hey, I mean, I understand it. Like, if you're an artist and you're out there, like, a lot of artists want recognition, and a lot of them just don't fucking get it. So you're sitting there striving for recognition, and you're just like, well, there it goes again, just fucking.
Especially something that was a big of a hit like Spyro.
Yeah, and I feel like, I mean, if this gets good reviews and stuff, like, I think this is just gonna, like, I don't know, it's gonna go crazy. I think, like, it's just gonna be one of those games that sells like hotcakes. Like, if it's well reviewed.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they got a really similar to the Insane trilogy. It's not like they have to change much to the gameplay.
No.
Like, maybe modernize it, like if some of the controls are a little clunky, but like otherwise, it's just it's very much just a visual update is what they're doing.
Yeah, and from the screenshots and like little snippets that I've seen, it looks like a really good visual update.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it looks really well done. So I'm excited for it because it was something that I never got to play.
Yeah, same here.
So
Yeah, that is one game I have seen so many times in so many discussions that's like, oh man, Spyro's really fucking good. It's too bad that
mhm.
as soon as Activision gained license of them, they've just fucking threw them into this
Shat on it.
bullshit Skylanders thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's basically dead now, more or less,
Yep.
or on death row. Weird segue. In Nintendo news, Kashima is stepping down as the president of Nintendo, and I'm sorry for butchering your name, but Shuntaro Furukawa is becoming the new president of Nintendo. So one is stepping down, and a new one is taking place. Kind of sudden, actually, considering what was it like? I think it was last year or the year prior, or maybe it was 2 or 3 years ago when Itawa passed away, wasn't it?
I think it was like 2 years ago.
Okay.
But yeah, and I think like it is kind of sudden, but I think that guy did say it was going to be short lived. I think he came out and said like I'm not going to be doing this for very long. I think it was I think it was something that he came out and said like he's just kind of the step in like since he passed away so sudden.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I thought you meant the
he's just-
new guy. I was like,
No,
whoa,
not the new
Jesus,
guy. No,
like,
not the new guy. The guy who's stepping down.
It's just a revolving door at Nintendo right now.
no. He basically said, "Hey, I'm just coming in for a very short period of time, just to kind of keep things going and the way that we want them to go." So, and I think he did a good job. You know, I think he did a really good job while he was there, and it's sad to see him go, but it looks like he looks decently younger and maybe ready to step in and make Nintendo like look at internet and shit like that they've.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, I think it's good to bring new talent in, and you know, I feel like with the time that the time that we did have a temporary president with Nintendo, everything was kind of going in the right direction. So I think their plan was to basically get Nintendo in the right direction, and then basically then they'd be ready to hire and pass it off to someone else.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean it's super successful right now. I mean you have like a lot of games that now they just re-released, like Bayonetta 2. I think already outsold what it sold on Wii U, and like you're getting these games that had Wii U releases. I think there was another game. Shit, I can't think of it. There's another one that I saw that outsold the Wii U already, but I can't think of it. Shit. Yeah.
Well, I could tell you what is, which is the next news thing.
Oh yeah,
we could save that for the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Switch is blown up, and I think that's a lot of that is mostly because of one, the name, two, that they really marketed the shit out of the Switch. Because I feel like the Wii U was kind of like, it wasn't really marketed that well. Like, if not well, like at all. Like, I never saw any. Like, I saw games being advertised, but never the console itself being advertised.
Yeah, so I think that in turn, a lot of people just thought that it wasn't even a new console, that it was just an updated Wii. So people were just like, whatever. And it was just poorly marketed, and then the name Wii U was just that gives itself to just being an updated version of the Wii. It's like, do I want it? It just comes with a tablet.
Yeah.
No.
And if you really notice, like all the advertisements for games on Switch, well, not all of them, but like a large majority of them, they all cut to a moment where it's someone playing it in some kind of situation that advertises the Switch being on the move or docking it and then undocking it. Like, it's like they keep pushing to reiterate, like, this is a new thing. This is a new console. This is totally separate. This is us showing you, like, how it is.
Yeah.
And that was something we never saw with the Wii U. We'd see announcements for games that was coming out, but then it was just like, oh, you could do this on the touchpad and stuff. But that was more like a separate trailer that wasn't part of the announcement trailer of a game.
Yeah, they're really doing. I think the marketing team did a really good job with the Switch,
Hmm.
and I mean, it's they're selling like hotcakes, and the games are selling like crazy too. So
And they're moving
yeah,
everything over.
yeah, which is awesome
Yeah.
because there's a lot of games that I didn't get to play that I wanted to that were on Wii U because I didn't fucking want a Wii U, so because they weren't making games. But
Yo, it'd be really fucking awesome. I hope they transfer over Zombie U over
oh
to the Switch.
geez, they
But
should.
keep it zombie. Don't call it Zombie
Yeah,
U. Keep it zombie. But oh, they wouldn't be able to do that. Yeah, because you have to have the Switch in your hand. If you had the
yeah,
Switch in your hands, it wouldn't be on the TV. Ah, damn it. Never mind.
yeah. Oh yeah, that would be one that would be hard to do.
Yeah. Because I was thinking, like, man, what if they had like a separate screen or some shit that you could like? That's the pad that they had when you were playing
Yeah,
that game and investigating shit and moving stuff over. But yeah, no, that wouldn't work at all.
yeah.
But anyway, to go back what you were saying about games that were selling like hotcakes on the Switch, Breath of the Wild tops Twilight Princess as the best-selling Legend of Zelda title of all time, and that is excluding remasters.
Damn.
And I know I'm one that has recently purchased that game and
Mm.
been playing it a lot. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. It's a fucking great game. It's a really good game,
and I
and
and
yeah.
I think especially with the Game Awards that had passed with Zelda and Mario Odyssey being the top two, taking those
Hmm.
points and like multiple, like not just video game awards, but like a lot of awards, just being the number one, number two every time. I
Yeah,
think that also really helped with people being like, "Holy shit, this game seems to be really good.
yeah,
I should find out why this game is really good."
yeah. And then for the people who waited to buy Switches, like
Yeah,
it, they had the choice of, well, a lot of people probably just bought them both. Just like fuck it. Oh, the other game that just came to my head. I just was Mario Kart.
oh yes,
Deluxe outsold Mario Kart for Wii U,
yep.
which is, I mean, that's crazy. Like that's that's pretty awesome. But yeah, um, just then you had the thought of what do you like better, open world or, and even Mario though is kind of open worldish, So,
Oh
but
yeah.
it just depends on what you like better. I personally, I don't know. I think I fought for Mario as game of the year, but they're
Yeah,
both really good
I
games.
remember during our discussions, yeah, we had a lot that was
Yeah,
on there.
yeah. But like either or would have, if either or would have won, I would have been fine.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's ultimately what it came down to. It was just like, all right, what's really fucking coming out? Like,
Yeah.
what? I mean, it's gonna end up on like one of the two spots anyway. So fucking
Yeah.
whatever.
We can keep fighting for another half hour, or we can just be like, all right,
Yeah, just be
this is
like, all
okay.
right, we're done. We get it. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Um, in new announcements, there was a Sonic Mania Plus trailer that was released for all systems. Basically, if you had not picked up the Sonic Mania so far, it includes new maps, I think like a new map, and new characters that you can play as, which was Mighty and oh god damn it, I missed the name. It was Mighty and the squirrel, whatever its name was.
Mm.
I can't remember. But basically, Mighty is the one. He can kind of he's similar to Knuckles, where he kind of does. He's more focused on attacking in general. Like he does like a ground pound kind of thing, and he can kind of dash in like in directions immediately. That doesn't have any kind of like arc or anything. It's just like
Hmm.
straight dash downward or certain directions. And the squirrel character is kind of has similar to mechanics of the Super Mario World, where it kind of when you have the cape and then you can kind of like float and consistently float so
Okay.
long as you time it right, and then you could basically float over everything in the world. So that's that mechanic of that character. So those two characters are being added along with Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. So there'll be 5 characters to play as, new maps to play in. So yeah, it's like one whole package that's being released. As for the price, I actually don't really know. So I don't know. Anyway, another kind of announcement that Nintendo made, as more Nintendo news is popping around. With E3 coming up, they have confirmed that the new Smash Brothers for Switch will be playable at E3 this year, so that people can get their hands on it. Seems like they're aiming for probably a summer release, would be my guess, if it's playable at E3. If not, I would say probably maybe like 12 characters are ready to play Smash at E3, and then maybe like over time they'll release characters, but or announce characters that are coming out. But I think also at the same time, Sakurai said that he's kind of done with trickling out information and just being like, fucking here, have the goddamn thing. It's out. Here's all the characters, whatever.
Yeah, I feel like it's just a lot of work and time to put into it just to keep being like, hey guys, we got a new announcement for Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
And like, it's just like, people are going to fucking like buy that game no matter what, you know, like, so just give us who's on there, and you know, I can see them rolling, like, I can see them rolling out with it, like a certain amount of characters. I think they'll, like, all the characters will be playable by then, but they'll just only have a certain amount that people are going to be able to play with.
Yeah.
Just
probably at E3, like, I think like a good roster, because I mean there's like a decent amount of people who play consistently some of the core characters, some of the original roster. You know, I mean there's some people who kind of branched off and kind of learned other characters and learned the meta with them, and it's like, oh shit, okay, yeah, this character is really good with them. But I feel like even at E3, like, bare bones, if they're going to have it be playable there, they're just going to have probably most definitely the original roster, just to have people be like, okay, how does this feel different from the previous title?
Yeah, I think, I can see them doing that, rolling out like just the core characters, and then probably like being like, hey, and here's 2 brand new characters that you've never seen in a Smash before, just so you know, people are like, oh shit, look what they're doing. Like, I think they're gonna have like some kind of big like announcement for that game at E3, like not just showing the game, but showing some characters that have never been in the game before, just to keep excitement going and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think the latest we see that game is like probably October, like, as far as the release date.
Probably fall. Would probably be a good time. Like, because it makes me think what other games are coming out for Switch that have already been announced that are coming later this year.
Yeah, they haven't really announced too much, like big, at least, like big AAA stuff, or big, like, their big titles.
I mean, there's Bayonetta 3, which was announced last year. There was, I'm sure we'll get an update as to Metroid 4, Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, we'll get an update, but I think that game's next year.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they did say something about, like, they were hoping that it would be ready maybe by, like, Christmas time, but I don't think it will. But who knows? Maybe that'll be like something where, like, hey, we got Smash Brothers all this time, and then at the end they're like, hey, and Metroid is coming, you know, like, and people shit a brick. But we'll see. I mean, that's just all speculation. E3 is really soon, so we only got about a month, and then we'll be seeing all this crazy stuff. So
definitely. So that's it for the news. Next up, we are moving on to the emails and questions go to, oh god, I've heard Darren rattle it off so many times, but I fucking just tune it out during that time. You can email us at utterlygeek, that's UTTERLYG33k at gmail.com, or go on to our Twitter, which is at UTTERLYGEEK, to tweet us there. We also have an Instagram with it, which is UTTERLYG33k. Submit your questions there, and then we will answer them during this segment. Or if you're watching us live on twitch.tv/CPTWally, if it's pertinent to our discussion, we will address it and include you in the discussion. Otherwise, we will save it until here. We have no new questions in our chat today during our live show.
Right.
None in the emails. Any in the Instagrams?
Nope, nothing in the grams.
In the grams. Oh my god, Watch, shut the hell up. Jesus. Every time. It wants to know. Actually it had a question for me, but I denied it. So yes, if we have nothing, we will move on to the new releases, the weekly releases for all the upcoming consoles that are coming out. There is nothing for 3DS while I was browsing, because of course, and fuck PC. So
yes.
Moving on first with Xbox One, we have on May 1st, we have Battlezone Gold Edition, and also Super Mega Baseball 2 on May 1st. May 2nd, we have Outbreak, the new Nightmare, and the Nightmare Chronicles. I don't know why they're like two different games coming out on the same day. That's fucking weird. Through the Woods is also coming out on May 2nd on Xbox One. On May 4th, we have City of Brass, Aqua Moto Racing, Utopia, Drive on Moscow, and Bounce Rescue. Seems a lot of theme of a lot of racing arcade games coming out on May 4th for the Xbox One. So be on the lookout for that. Actually, I want to interject, there was a PC title that was, quote, released, in quotations, released today on PC. I've kind of been eyeing it, not personally, but I know a couple of friends have it. The Forest was released to version 1.0 as of today. Okay. It came out of early access today. They announced it, so it is being released, version 1.0. You can go pick that up on Steam now. Congratulations to that team for releasing that game. I've actually heard it's pretty good and fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
So as for PS4, we see on May 1st, we have Guns of Icarus Alliance coming out, which is a fantastic co-op game. Highly recommend. Killing Floor Incursion, which I think is it says PlayStation VR compatible, which is I guess their VR game. Okay, that'd be a fucking good game to play in VR.
Yeah.
We have also Hex Tunnel Touch, Hive, Ultim Wars, okay, Pirate Flight, which is another PS VR game. Battlezone Gold Edition, and Super Mega Baseball 2 as well for PS4. That is on May 1st. May 3rd, we have Deland, whatever the hell that is, and May 4th, City of Brass. And that is it for PS4. And moving on to the Switch, we have on May 1st, coming out tomorrow, Animal Super Squad. That is it for Switch tomorrow. A lot of these games I feel like are a lot of indie titles that I just don't hear about whatsoever until I'm browsing the store, and I'm just like, what is all this? Where did all these games come from? And apparently from what I've read is that a lot of people are saying that a lot of those indie titles that are on Switch are actually pretty decent. Like, they're not just like shitty shovelware that goes on Steam. Apparently a lot of the indie titles that like are no names that just barely getting marketing, it's just like Nintendo fucking scoops them up and they're like, that seems pretty quality enough. Sure, let's fucking go with it. Anyway, I digress. May 2nd is ACA Neo Geo Stakes Winner, a classic Neo Geo game being ported over. Also, Arcade Archives 10-yard fight. One, that is it for May 2nd. For May 3rd, I do not see what the hell is the name of the pronunciation of that. I am going to skip that. I apologize. That is, wait, let me, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. Nihilumbra is the name of it. Nihilumbra.
Yeah, that sounds pretty close.
Yes. Looks interesting, actually, from looking at least just at its title. That's May 3rd when it comes out. Also, alongside with it is Don't Die, Mr. Robot. Perfect Angle as well. Timberman versus... Which, that sounds familiar. Timberman. Oh, never mind. Oh, is it that Timberman game where it's just you're just hacking fucking trees all the time? I don't know. Anyway. I think I saw it on Steam at some point, and I was like, this is a silly game. That is just like a one-note kind of thing, but I guess it just goes off the rails with fucking how silly it is. And we also have on May 3rd, Professional Construction, the simulation. Because fucking finally on the Switch. You could now bring your construction with you to work to your construction job.
Yes.
So you can construct while you construct, yo. We also have on May 3rd, Cast of the Seven Godsends Redux, which I guess for you fans out there that got a Redux of this game, congratulations. We also have Johnny Turbo's Arcade Sly Spy coming out on May 3rd. Japanese Mojang coming out on May 3rd. So if you love Mojang, congratulations, you are now getting it on the Switch, and take it with you. You now have less pieces to fucking clean up, and you can just play it on the go. But most notably, on May 4th, coming out for the Switch, is Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. You can now get funky on May 4th for the Switch.
For $60.
Yes, and also to kind of go back to our news segment, they are removing it from the eShop as soon as it is released on Switch.
Yeah.
Which for a lot of people, that really pisses them off because they are basically just saying like, nope, that game never happened on the Wii U ever. Like,
yeah.
So for those people who, and I know because I sold my Wii U, to a young lady, and I feel bad for her now because games like this where she could have played it, she could have bought it on the eShop. I hope that she's paying attention to the news that, you know, if she wanted to play that game, like the only way she'll be able to get it is through a physical copy. So if she wants to get it through digital, she's going to be out of luck come later this week.
Get it now.
Yeah. So, but that is it for the Switch and for the remainder of the weekly releases for all your machines and consoles and PC. Fuck you. You're going to have to look that up on your own because there's way too much dog shit coming out of there.
Yes.
But that is it for this week's Utterly Geek News podcast. Hope you enjoyed your time with the two of us. And we'll be here next week. Darren will be out again. So we will be running these reigns until he comes back. God knows when.
He's fired, man. He ain't coming back.
All right, well, we'll hire him in 3 weeks, possibly.
Yeah, okay. Maybe we'll rehire him. He's got to go through the process, though.
Right.
Like, he's got to go through our harsh interview process.
That's okay. That is, yes, that is a deal.
So
I am okay with that.
We'll see.
We'll announce new people to replace him.
Yeah.
Oh shit. But in case, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hopefully we'll see you next week, Monday/Tuesday, whatever this is released.
Yeah.
Bye.
Later.
Have fun.